Hey guys, this is CK at CK Education, and today I want to answer a question that a lot of students and parents ask about the SAT and how colleges calculate the scores. And a lot of people ask me about what is a super score. Can you tell me about super score? Yes, so I want to explain that today. So the super score, also called a composite score, is a calculation method that a lot of colleges use. I would say most colleges use that. And what that means is they take the best section scores of your test, of all the tests that you've taken. They take the best section scores and then they use that as your score in considering you for admissions to that school. So for example, let's say you take a test in March and you get a 700 in reading and writing and 600 in math. So for a total score of 1300. Then you take the test again in May, but this time you get a 600 in reading and writing and a 700 in math. So your total score is still a 1300. But when you record it in your college application, like in Common App or Coalition, when you enter your scores, it'll say your highest reading and writing section score. You're gonna put 700 March 2020, let's say, and then your best math section score, you're going to put May 2020, let's say, and put 700. Now you've never got, so that would be 1400 total. You've never gotten a 1400 on one test, but when you took your best reading and writing score from March and your best reading math score that was from May, and you put it together, that's a total of 1400. So that's what a super score is. That the 1400 is the score that they will consider when they consider you for admissions. Now, why do they do this? I think they do this because they know as well as I do that when a student takes a test, on any given test date, there's a lot of factors that go into play in how well you do on that test. I mean, you could have a headache that morning. You could have indigestion. Last night, for some reason, you couldn't sleep. There's a lot of things that happen. You had an argument with your parents the previous night. You broke up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend last week. I mean, a lot of things can happen. So that's why I always recommend that my students take it twice. I don't think you need to take it more than twice. I mean, some do, but I have them take it twice because there's always that thing that maybe you can, even if it's the same total score, maybe in one of the sections you'll go up 40 points or 50 points, then you'll get a better super score, okay? So most colleges, that's how they do it. And when you submit your SAT scores to colleges, for most colleges, again, they want to see all of your scores. Just because you self-report your score in the application, okay, you're entering those numbers in, just in case someone lies, they want to make sure that they have the actual score backup. So you do have to send all your scores, okay? Now, I just want to quickly go over how many times you should take the SAT. I get this question all the time. So this is just a short, quick answer, so I don't want to make another video on this, okay? But how many times should you take it? There's no real maximum number. If you take it beyond this, then it's bad, or there's nothing like that per se. But I don't think there's any reason for a parent or for a student to take it more than twice. If you're ready, you're ready, and then you take it twice. That's what I have my students do. You get prepared, and then you take it consecutively, March and May, or May and June, or June and August, or August and October, like that. I never have them do it like, oh, let's just see how you do in March, and then we'll take it in August. I don't think that's a good idea. And I never recommend, students take it just to see how they do. That's a waste of a test. And understand that all the tests that you take on SAT and ACT as well, they stay on your record. So I don't like having bad scores on my students' record, if at all possible. So I want to prepare them the best that they can, the best we can, and then have them take it when I think that they're very strong. That's when you want to take it. So you don't want to just take tests to just see how you do. That's what practice tests are for. And that's like the test that I give, we'll see about how you do. But you don't want to use a real test to do that. So I never recommend that. So there's now some kids, like one of my kids recently got a 1580, perfect in math, and then one wrong in reading and writing, got 1580. So 780 in reading and writing, 800 in math. Is he going to take it again? No, he's good. Okay. So when kids get that kind of score, when they're like, 1550 or above or something like that, you're done. Now, again, but anything under that, I think you should take it twice. And I always recommend my students do that. So now, when should you take them by? It doesn't matter. Some people think you have to take it in junior year. I've heard this many times. No, you don't. You can take it as a sophomore. You can take it as a freshman. As long as you take it in your high school years, as long as you finish all of your testing before you apply to colleges, then you're fine. Okay, so there's no rush. I hear some parents and freaking out about, during the junior year, we got to hurry up and take them. You have plenty of time. As long as you take them before you apply to colleges. And when is that? Usually, if it's early action or decision, it's November 1st. Usually, there are some schools that are October 15th and others, but usually it's November 1st for most colleges. So that is the November of your senior year. After you become a senior, that November, that is when you're applying early action. Now, if you're applying regular decision, you have until like Christmas, December to take that. Now, that's another video. I'll explain early action, early decision, regular decision, early action, single choice, and blah, 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 all these different kinds of, application deadlines. So I'll explain that one in another video. But on this one, I hope you have a clear idea of now what a super score or composite score is and how colleges do that, how many times you should take the test, and why you shouldn't take tests endlessly, okay? So anyway, I hope that was helpful. If you have any further questions, leave them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer you personally. But until my next video, I hope you stay well.